Welcome to today's vlog on inquiry-based learning for studying traditional texts in the English classroom. So what is inquiry? It basically can be defined as the seeking for truth, knowledge, information and understanding. It's a form of active learning or a constructivist approach where students pose questions, make observations, undertake inquiry and create an organised and justified explanation for a particular issue. So now looking at traditional versus modern teaching pedagogy. Let's take 2 seconds now to think about what our previous schooling looked like. What did your classroom look like? What did the learning look like? How did this make you feel? If it was anything like mine, the learning was completely teacher-centred. And this teacher is the centre of the universe approach is really put nicely by Jen Screever, who suggests the jug in the mug, which is that knowledge is poured from one receptacle to another, being the teacher and then the student. In contrast to this, modern teaching pedagogy or 21st century education has essentially shifted from being teacher-centred to student-centred, and the learning environment has become a place where students are actually excited, motivated and passionate to learn, particularly in subjects like English. As Heap suggests, the best possible teaching strategies are those which consider context of teaching, learners' style and motivation, as well as cultural habits of each particular student. So why should we study traditional texts, and why should we study them adopting an IBL approach? Well, studying these texts allow our students to understand society itself. It gives them a broad view, as well as fostering understanding. Through undertaking inquiry myself into IBL and how it can be used effectively to engage all students in the classroom, I've come up with both benefits and challenges. Some benefits include the development of important skills such as researching, organising, creative and critical thinking, questioning, reflecting, as well as personal skills such as confidence and resilience. Challenges which I have identified after undertaking research include that this mode of teaching might not actually be accessible for all students in the classroom. And for example, ELD students might actually find this approach confronting and not like being given such freedom in the classroom. When investigating the topic of IBL, I found that actually looking into real-world and practical strategies were the most helpful to me as their future English teacher. Number 1, flip the classroom. Allow students to become self-directed and independent learners. 2, encourage questioning. Make your classroom a safe place where all students are not afraid to put up their hand. 3, spend valuable time on doing skills which are actually important for real-world purposes. As a teacher, you need to minimize your direct teaching pedagogy. 4, develop literacy skills for real-world purposes. And 5, it's really important that as a teacher you strategically manage your classroom chaos. Something which surprised me after undertaking research into IBL is that how easy it actually is to embed it in your English classroom. Curriculum demands can still 100% be met through adopting an IBL approach. I believe that inquiry-based learning is an extremely effective approach for engaging all students within the classroom, particularly in the English classroom when deconstructing traditional texts. In light of this, I would really like to undertake further research into project-based learning and how this can be applied specifically in the English classroom to engage students within the English strands of literature, language and literacy. Undoubtedly, future English teachers have an extremely important role to play in shaping 21st century pedagogy and students, and IBL possesses the means necessary for teachers to prepare students to face the real world and to tackle any challenge which lies ahead.